Welcome to Victorious Homeschool's Homeschool GPS webinar and pre-orientation. Many parents thinking of homeschooling would often ask about the curriculum, the books to buy, or whether the approach is Charlotte Mason or Montessori, or even whether the setup is online, modular, or hybrid. Now, these things are important, and parents who are committed to homeschool are those who tend to ask a lot of questions. However, if left unguided, the many choices, voices, and opinions can lead to overwhelm and even anxiety. Nakakalula. So, let's keep the explanation simple and easy to understand. In homeschooling, there are things to do and there is some work involved, but it can be simplified and is doable with a bit of help and support. Following the roadmap to true homeschooling based on research-backed insights and collective experience, we employ a GPS, not the global positioning system, but rather groundwork, personalization, and support. Let's briefly go over them. G pertains to the parenting groundwork, which is all about you, your childhood, and your ongoing growth as an adult and as an individual. We'll talk about building your self-knowledge foundation to help you see parenting from a different lens. P refers to personalization, which is all about your unique child, who is an entirely different person from you. It's about realizing connection-led homeschooling to fit each child's developmental needs and family's lifestyle. And lastly, S is for support, which is where we come in. We help you navigate your homeschooling with the support and guidance you need. And I know many of you are here because of this. But before that, let's talk about parenting groundwork first. Homeschooling really begins with you, so it is an invitation to open your heart and your mind. And by being new here, you have boldly began exploring. And for those of you who are already homeschooling, I commend you for being a lifelong learner. Although there's a lot to unpack, let's start by asking these to ourselves. What kind of a person am I? How am I as a wife or husband or partner? How does my child or my spouse see me? How do I feel about my relationships? So from this knowing, this awareness and reflection, there will be much growth and learning which you can apply and integrate into your life. So a huge part of it is self-reflection, because as you ask yourself these questions, your answers will point back to your own childhood. What was your childhood like? Were you listened to as a child? Were you allowed to make decisions or express opinions? Pinayagan ka ba? Were you given opportunities to play and explore? Or were you praised and affirmed as a child? How did your parents react to your mistakes? Pinagalitan ka ba? Pinarusahan ka ba? Pinahiya ka ba? How did you feel about it? And the most important question yet, what is one thing that you would have wanted so much for your parents to do or say to you as a child? It's not an easy question to answer, right? But I want you to think about it. Because you see, many of the things you are right now have been wired into you during your childhood. All the things you have observed, the patterns you were exposed to, this includes your set of beliefs and your sense memories, your tendencies, and your triggers are molded into you from childhood. And the thing is, most of the time, you don't realize it. It is important that you become aware that all these things you carry have an influence on your behavior and your relationships, especially with your spouse and your children. Your childhood, for better or worse, impacts your choices, your decisions, your responses, your emotions. And particularly, your childhood impacts your parenting and your relationship with your child. So it's basically knowing, learning, doing. Aside from healing or recovering from your imperfect childhood, and nobody has a perfect childhood, by the way, what you should be trying to do is to be the best version of yourself. You should healthily strive to be virtuous, to be ethical, to be calm, to be gracious. To healthily strive simply means not to be weighed down by perfectionism. So the bottom line is, we should healthily strive to be a good and great person. Why? Because we model to our children. They mirror us. So we have to have moral ascendancy, the credibility and authority to guide and correct them. This is the work of the parenting groundwork. Now, being humans, we will not always get it right. Papalpak tayo. So we need to know how to repair. And to repair means to apologize when you make a mistake, or when you were triggered and you yelled or punished your children unnecessarily. To repair is also to soothe your children when they are emotionally dysregulated. So the idea is to build connection with your kids because this is the very foundation of your child's well-being, helping them feel safe, confident, and loved as they grow. So what do we do? So this can be a long explanation, but let's have an example. When your child is angry and frustrated and you meet it with your own anger, you become disconnected. Yun. So your anger can provoke your child's anger, leading to disconnection, while your calmness can inspire your child's calmness. And children learn best when they are calm. And you teach and communicate best when you are calm. And it's not easy, especially if you're tired, feeling sick, busy, or preoccupied. I know, I can relate. But the most effective parenting strategy really involves focusing on your own self-improvement, starting with the self-awareness and self-reflection, because that's when you can begin to look past your child's behavior and your own woundedness, yung kawawa na bata inside of you when you were also a child. Awareness and reflection slows down your anger, and it helps you respond with compassion and not take it personally. So you understand the reason behind the behavior. But like I said, it will still happen sometimes. Your anger, shaming, blaming, comparing, these can all damage and break down connection. And that's when you repair, so you can reconnect with your child. Again, to repair is responding with calm. To repair is to apologize when needed. To repair is to look past the behavior and soothe the emotional dysregulation. And there's the good news, right? That's the good news. You don't have to be perfect. Studies indicate that parents only need to succeed 30% of the time to foster connection with their children. It's such a relief to know, right? So this is from the research of psychologist and pediatrician Dr. Donald Winnicott, who introduced the concept of the good enough parent. Okay, so it has since been supported by Dr. Andrew Wake, Dr. Daniel Siegel, Dr. Donna Matthews, among others. So, good enough parents, according to Dr. Winnicott, do not aim for perfection in their parenting. nor do they expect perfection from their children. This message is especially crucial today as many parents are experiencing anxiety regarding their children's futures. Diba? We're always worried. So achieving perfect attunement, is not necessary. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, these small moments of imperfections followed by repair helps build resilience and emotional regulation. Okay, that deserves another topic because it's all about rupture and repair. Okay, so also embracing the idea of being a good enough parent reduces the pressure for perfection while nurturing a strong connection. So that said, ayan, we don't have room for guilt, regret, blame shifting, and comparison, especially comparison among ourselves or comparison among our children. It's so useless, unnecessary, and even harmful. Don't give space for these in your homeschooling. Do not overthink. Yes, we acknowledge our failings and our feelings towards them, but we move onward to create a homeschool environment where the whole family can thrive despite imperfections. So, our parenting groundwork then is to healthily strive to be a good enough parent and grow our children with relationship at the core, with this connection at the center. This is the most important takeaway here. Do not be anxious. You are God ordained to be the parent of your child. Be confident that you are the best teacher for your child. Now we go to personalization. And what we want to emphasize here is that each child is unique, even if they follow a general growth trajectory. Even if you have several children, each one will experience things differently, even if they stay in the same household and share the same parents. It's important that you realize that each child will have a distinct perception, temperament, preferences, and will have varied experience about the same event or situation. Magkakaiba talaga sila. Families differ in terms of work schedule too, time allotment, culture-bound aspects, and even economic challenges. And we have been presenting the research-backed insights for the past 5 years because we hope that what we share today, along with things that you learn elsewhere, can help you personalize your own homeschooling. And you should do so boldly and confidently. For example, I've discussed the attachment needs of children from 0 to 18 years in our webinar last year called Decoding Parent-Child Connection. So we acknowledge the brilliant mapping of early childhood by Dr. Gordon Newfield and other studies for older children. So I will present a summarized version here because this mapping presents a simplified explanation of the stages of attachment, which is an essential factor in personalizing the learning of children based on their developmental level. So from 0 to 7 years old, as a baby, your child wants to be with you physically, which develops into wanting to be liked or wanted by you, and to belong or to be on the same family. So by age 4, you see in your child a need to matter or be significant because he feels attached to the people who are always close to him. So there is a natural need to feel seen and valued. Now, this is crucial, very important, because this is how a child develops a strong sense of self-worth and security. Now, if everything unfolds properly, according to Dr. Newfield, the 5th year is incredible because this is when the child becomes emotionally attached. The child gives his heart to whomever he is attached to. So chances are, this is you, the mommy, the daddy, or the guardian. Your child is in love with you. And you know what happens when you're in love, right? Baka nakalimutan nyo na. You would do almost anything for the object of your affection, right? That is why it is easy to parent or homeschool a child who is attached to you or in love with you. This would continue to progress as the child turns 6 or 7. The child would trust you and tell you her secrets. Ang galing, di ba? Ito yung pinaka-close dapat sa'yo ang bata. It's an amazing time, right? So why on earth would you send them to a school of strangers? I want to keep my child with me. Okay? So now you know why true homeschooling is connection-led parenting. And this is so important because when the child develops at this level, it sets the stage for the rest of parenting. Yun. So teacher, what about when the child gets older? Okay. So from 7 to 13 years old, children begin to seek independence but still rely heavily on attachment to parents. So while younger children need physical closeness, older children begin to prioritize emotional closeness. They want to feel understood and emotionally connected. They begin to spend time with friends, yes, whether face-to-face or online, but it's still critical for parents to remain the primary attachment figures. Because if the bond with parents weakens, they will be dependent on peers or social media or the internet instead of adults for guidance and values. They will easily be influenced. And this is not good. Because aside from the immaturity or even inappropriateness, friends cannot give the same unconditional love as parents. Now, as they grow older, the period from 13 to 18 years old is marked by significant developmental changes like a desire for independence and self-identity. But again, teens still need secure attachments with adults for their emotional safety and guidance as they explore their identities, relationships, and life goals. So we are cautioned against peer orientation. Now, peer orientation is when adolescents look to their friends rather than adults for emotional and social guidance. So what do we need to provide our teens? Kailangan nila is a non-judgmental, supportive environment to help them feel they can express their feelings and struggles. So let me emphasize that adolescents should remain securely attached to their parents or caring adults who can provide a stable base from which they can develop. Okay, so teacher, what about academics? All right. So for many parents, this is their main concern kasi ito lang naman kasi yung akala nila dapat importante or yung nakikita nila. And we agree that academics is important. Just remember that a connected, secure, and confident child learns so much better, including schoolwork. So these ages and stages are approximate, what I'm going to present to you, but they generally represent the trajectory of growth and formal learning. For younger children, it is the stage of learning how to learn. From 0 to approximately 7 years old, the emphasis is on gaining the skills fundamental to further learning. Reading and writing, computation, finding information, whether it be in books, on the internet, or from people. It can happen in natural situations or play environments. So it is simply learning how to learn. There are kids who seem to get it right away, but there are kids who don't. Each one is unique. We should not force kids to learn at a level they are not ready for. We risk them associating learning with negative emotions, which would prevent them from being joyful, successful learners. So for example, based on studies, some children start to read at 2 to 3 years old, while others begin to read at age 8 or 9. Child experts say this is normal and will not affect their ability to study as they turn adolescents. So the only exception, of course, is when there are developmental red flags. Otherwise, children within this age present different levels of readiness and pacing. So from around 7, 8, or 9, when most kids have got reading figured out, marunong na silang magbasa, they investigate a wide variety of subjects. So it is the time to explore. So they may begin to focus on 1 or 2 subjects or interests. often to the exclusion of other activities if allowed. So looking back, as adults, tayo, it's easy for most of us to see the value of deeply learning just a few. Mas konti yung inaral natin pero malalim. For some of us, that kind of exploration could have saved us several semesters of college level work or even years in less than satisfying jobs or careers. Either napilitan kasi tayo or hindi natin na-explore ano talaga ang para sa atin. So let your children explore, even if they change their minds often at these young ages. During the teen years, the differences in homeschooling approaches tend to become less pronounced as homeschoolers begin their transition into the adult world. So in principle, if your child learns the fundamentals or tools for learning how to learn, you will be homeschooling a self-directed child who will study on her own. So with strong connection with you, your child feels safe, secure, confident, and resilient, allowing exploration and more effective learning. And I know some of you are thinking, okay lang ba? Will my child learn enough? Won't she be left behind? Dear parents, there have been so many successful homeschool graduates. A homeschool graduate actually created the victorious homeschool online infrastructure at the age of 18 simply because she was allowed to. Thank you, Teacher Amber. So, when children are not coerced or force-fed an education, real passionate learning happens. Which brings us to the last part of our presentation, getting the right support for you and your homeschool learner. So let's take a break first. What is your greatest takeaway so far? Welcome to the second part of the orientation. Let's have a brief recap. We talked about the parenting groundwork where you healthily strive to become a good enough parent, which means you and your children are not pressured to be perfect. We also talked about the importance of personalization in homeschooling and adapting your parenting approach and style to meet your children's developmental needs according to the stage they're in. So this time, we'll talk about how we support you. Victorious Homeschool, as an umbrella school, supports all aspects of homeschooling by providing full-service enrollment, from record keeping to issuance of school credentials and official documents. So one great advantage is that we have homeschool advisors who are actual educators and have long-time personal experience as homeschooling parents themselves. And yes, we call our learners V homeschoolers, which is short for victorious, engaged, and empowered, because this is how we believe homeschoolers can come home to goodness and greatness. Let's begin by acknowledging our accrediting partners. Our main Philippine DepEd accrediting institution is Hillcrest School, although we also manage and support the homeschool learners of John Thurries International School and SciTech School of Los Baños. All our schools have DepEd recognized accreditation, ADM homeschooling permit, and PEAC certification. We likewise manage and support U.S. curriculum homeschool learners of Victorious International, a recognized group of Home Life Global Academy. You can check details and permits in our website. Now let's move on to our 4 main support features for teaching and learning. So the V Library, our Volt-in classes, the Homeschool LMS, and our newest exciting feature, the OWL Academy. Let's go over each one. The first feature is the V Library, which is housed in your Google Classroom. It presents the quarterly learning guide of topics, study e-booklets for grade 1 to 6, and resource e-books for other levels. Now, by the way, we're adding a new learning guide based on our LMS sequencing in school year 2025-2026. Other features include editable tests, activity sheets, and the fillable grading form. Our fillable grading form is so easy to use. You just input scores and it auto-computes for you. You can also find links to video tutorials and some recorded presentations here, as well as reminder posts. Next, we have the thoughtfully created Volt-in classes to support real-life skills. So helping your child develop growth mindset, emotional intelligence, habits for success, and more. The topics here are well researched, science backed, and timely, which make them relevant and useful in building your child's emotional, mental, and critical thinking skills. The classes are delivered in a simple presentation framework by competent facilitators. So think of it like webinars designed for kids, but better, because adults can learn much from them too. Right now, our V homeschoolers are attending the V Boss Business Kids Volt In series, which teaches them financial literacy or how to become money smart. Okay, Volt In classes happen every Monday and sometimes also Friday via Zoom with breakout sessions after each presentation. The third feature is the LMS to support academics. So this learning management system is designed with the homeschooler in mind. Recognizing that parents can use all the help they can get, the Homeschool LMS presents ready-to-use lessons with interactive quizzes from first quarter to fourth quarter. So our IT officers manage the back-end system, so you can access triple grade level learning content for the whole school year, allowing you to review previous grade levels lessons, study current ones, and study in advance. Okay, for example, if your child is grade 4, you can access grades 3, 4, and 5 lessons. So this flexibility lets you meet the learning readiness and pacing of your child. So you can check the preview of the Homeschool LMS in our website. And now, introducing the latest bird to land in Victoria's homeschool, the OWL Academy. So the OWL, or Online Web Learning Academy, is an e-learning platform that features innovative ways to learn. So think of it like a digital tutor you sit down with to learn. It can also be used for a fun, interactive, independent studying. So like our LMS, the OWL Academy comes with multiple grade level learning access. There will be a full Parent in Mind video tutorial, which will be shared to enrolled families. Both old and new students who register from now until April may receive early access for free, of course, while accounts last. So here's a peek of the OWL Academy. So there are interactive apps, educational videos, and audio classes. There will be virtual worksheets, online flashcards, and gamified lessons. So demo for parents and students will be out soon. Alright, so those are our 4 main V-learning and teaching support features. So how do we connect with you? For communication and socialization opportunities, parents or guardians are added to the V neighborhood upon admission and invited to join V Connect sessions for assistance and clarifications. You can reach your advisors, admin officers, and IT managers in these channels, as well as via email, Google Classroom, Messenger, and phone calls. So senior high school students also meet each other with their advisor for the comprehensive immersive approach sessions. So this is to help SHS students prepare for their big transition to college and the world of work. Lastly, students can interact in the digital campus for more learning and fun socialization opportunities. You can find interest groups and hobbyists here. Students and even teachers meet here for group meetings and learn events. So by the way, since 2 years ago, Victoria's Homeschool has been the only homeschool community with a digital campus of its kind, and now it has been upgraded into a more interactive experience level. So let's check it out.
Okay, so I want you to see our virtual campus in Victorious Homeschool. So, makikita nyo rito muna yung pedestal. Ayan, yung pedestal naman including the logo and a big rock in the middle. You can see the whole oval as part of the map. Ayan. So, malaking oval siya sa gitna and then a big lot on the right side if you're facing the main building. And then on the left side, you will see a seaside and other buildings here as well. So, the main purpose of this demo is for you guys to see the big building of the VH. So, on the left side, when you go here, you will see the admin office. And it includes a lot of assets inside here that we can partake, especially for the guests and for the students that we will join here. Pwede sila mag-roleplay, and then soon magkakaroon kami ng detailed notes inside para nakita nyo yung iba't ibang guides namin. So this would be the admin office, and on the right side, you will see our registrar. So again, this is a virtual and a simulation only. So kung ano yung nakikita nyo rito, is something na pwedeng gamitin ng mga bata. And then again, more assets will be displayed here moving forward. So after that, paglabas natin dito, on the right side as well, sa upper right, makita nyo yung ating elevator. Then, makakaroon kayo ng access dito sa bridge. Yan yung tsura niya. And then, there's 2 more rooms on the top. Now, we still have plans for it. The whole team is already planning and brainstorming an idea kung anong pwedeng ilagay dito. But for now, this is the assets inside of this room. On the left side, facing the front of the building, and left side would be like a pantry. Yes. And then random assets. So ito yung buong building natin or the VH. Yan. Makikita nyo sa likod may mga small pantries tayo, like recreation. Pwede pa namin lagyan and still under construction yan. We have our volleyball. There you go. And then pag pumunta tayo dito sa may road na to, we'll see the seaside. So on top ng ginawa naming oval na road and the main building, we also decided to put MOA Seaside. So yan, makikita nyo dito yan. Yan. And we will have other stops here as well. Madilim lang siya ngayon, but we're planning to have like a multiple lights here. May mga poste dyan para mas maging maganda. And also do take note that the whole server is running on a daytime basis as well, pero hindi sobrang accurate sa oras natin. So nagra-run yung day and night dyan. Mapapansin nyo gabi na. Ayan, meron buwan. So ayan yung seaside. And then again, more commercial buildings here. We're more than willing to have the students' feedback and ideas on it para makatulong sila at makita nila yung mga gusto nilang makita dito inside our virtual campus. So meron kami ng ganyan. Mangwan is a one. And I know for sure that majority of the students are already familiar on how to do this or how to play in this kind of role-play virtual campus because it's one of the trending right now. And for now, what we can definitely showcase is PH pa lang ang meron ito. Wala bang ibang school na nag-invest na magkaroon ng virtual campus? Though we have our Discord already for the community and the learning resources that we have. And there you go. So yeah, there's a lot to see here, and the main building is one of our best showcase.
We will be opening this for BH enrollees next school year with more school buildings like the preschool building, grade school buildings, and high school buildings as well. So may mga clubhouses din tayo such as our adventures, page turner, taste bud, and explore quests. And of course, also our music club will be there for sure. Also, let's check na meron din mga gym for our athletes as well.
So stay tuned with our upcoming development to this virtual campus. And yep, see you soon.
So there you have it. So we are never short on communication and socialization channels. The VH team is very responsive too. So you will not worry. Okay, now about clubs and learn events. Yes, I did mention clubs. So we have four main clubs and learn events. Number one, we have the Page Turners Club, where book reading becomes, fun and meaningful through student-led conversations and discussions. So there are book with a twist activities and others that keep them engaged and reading. Number two, we have the Taste Buds Club for little chefs who love to explore the world of food. So they get to learn easy to do recipes and discover the science of delicious and nutritious. Number three is the Art Ventures Club. Technology and art come together in this club where members get to create art using the tools of their time. Members learn new skills, collaborate, and respond to art challenges. And number four is the National Geographic Explorer Classroom Learn events. So there are two ways our learners can experience this. First is the weekly live interactive sessions with marine biologists, wildlife conservationists, scientists, and filmmakers from all over the world in their time zone, which is usually at night. The second is the alternative curated sessions of National Geographic Learning Journey at daytime. So we will provide guidelines on how to join the clubs during the student orientation in June. Yan. We also have face-to-face assemblies, although there have been, more, such as the World Reading Day with the IPUFIL, Inquire Read Along, and other community-based voluntary tours and activities. Okay. However, we have four major assemblies. Number one is Pinoy Ako, which is our way of celebrating Buwan ng Wika to honor Filipino as a national language and foster pride in our cultural identity, unity, and the preservation of traditions. Through food sharing, games, and activities, we celebrate the Filipino spirit and our cultural legacy. Number two is our celebration of the United Nations Day called Be a Global Citizen. So we advocate for global unity and cooperation to promote peace and sustainable development. So the event fosters awareness of diversity, equality, and the shared responsibility of building a better world. Number three is the Homeschool Fair, a gathering of V families where we get to play games, have fun, and apply some of the things we learned from our club learn events and Volt-in classes. So the V Boss Business Kids Volt-in series, for example, on financial literacy will be practiced here. Okay, it's also open to the public. Lastly, the Moving Up Day is how we recognize the achievements of our learners and honor the hard work of parents or guardians for the school year. Our V homeschoolers get to come up on stage as they are joined by their parents or family members. We also know how homeschooling can be overwhelming to first-time homeschoolers and super busy parents. So, for school year 2025-2026, we offer solutions to parents who might need more support and help. As an option, parents can add the STAR or Scheduled Teacher-Assisted Responsive classes as additional support. These STAR classes are regular online academic meetings from July to March. Academic coaches teach or guide learners in the core subjects 2 to 3 times a week. The core subjects are language arts, which is a combination of English and Filipino, mathematics, science, and Araling Panlipunan or social studies. Parents or guardians of students enrolled in the STAR classes shall also be assisted in the grading of the academic or core subjects, as well as in the assessment and testing, providing much needed help to first-time homeschoolers or busy parents. So this is different from TAP, by the way, which is your teacher-assisted program. TAP provides focused tutoring on one academic subject, such as math, on a one-on-one or small group setting within a specific period or cycle. Okay? So the STAR classes are different. So info guidelines for the STAR classes will be posted soon and shared to enrolled families. Sign-ups for this will be from March to June. Ayan. So your schedule with Victorious Homeschool can look like this. So Volt-in classes and club learn events are on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. All remain optional. So in case a schedule goes against your family schedule, you can choose to do your own activity. You can work and integrate any curriculum or lesson in your homeschool schedule. For those who sign up in STAR classes, this will be more like your schedule. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays remain as vault-in classes and club events, while Tuesdays and Thursdays are for STAR classes. In case of adjustments, there may be Saturday STAR classes as well. Okay, please note that we maintain flexibility, and so you still have the freedom and can work out your other activities before or after your vault-ins, clubs, and STAR classes, as they typically last for just 1 to 2 hours. To recap, Victorious Homeschool is an umbrella school for homeschool learners. We support and complement your homeschooling by providing full service enrollment, record keeping, official documents, teaching, learning resources, learning opportunities, and advising, so that you have more time and energy and more calm to connect with your children and focus on true education. So the Victorious Homeschool System is geared towards student success, and we have conscientiously developed processes to ensure that you get the real help you actually need. So come home and stay home with us.